We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Isekai, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Asta Was Noctis' Reincarnation 9. And honestly, it's been a while since I last done a part for this. Like I said before, my Black Clover what ifs have not got as lot of traction as it used to, which, to be honest, not surprising. Hopefully, given this month, with the last remaining 3 chapters of Black Clover coming out and the ending, I should get at least some bigger traction than before. So yeah, at any rate, with all that said, let's go through that a quick recap. We went over the battle between that of Asta and Mars, and it was basically nothing but a one-sided beatdown for Asta, after all. Given the power of the kings, his anti-magic, and a better connection with that of Libe, this Asta is a lot more stronger than he would have been in fully canon after all. The only problem he had with Mars is that he wouldn't stop getting back up. He was a tanky ass bastard, and he nearly killed that of Noelle and Mimosa. Because of that, Asta had to give it his all, but in return, they gained something from that of the dungeon's vault with some kind of mysterious case. And also, still gain that of Bell as that of his familiar after all. And the Diamond Kingdom still gained the gold that they would need to stabilize themselves for a short time. So I still call that a win. So with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? A day has now gone by since that of the dungeon incident. There hasn't been any more encounters with that of the Diamond Kingdom since the dungeon's collapse after all. And also, Asta, Noelle, and Luck are now recovering. Well, mainly those two. As for Asta, ever since coming back, he's been trying to figure out what's in that damn briefcase. After all, it's pretty damn large, to be honest, and it seems like it has some other attachments to it. So, to be honest, he wants to know what's in it. But due to the combination lock, he's been figuring out what the freaking combinations are. Unfortunately, he hasn't had much sleep since then, given his insomnia due to him being Noctis' reincarnation. Asta has not had his long moments of sleep after all, or his moments of basically taking a quick nap. And let's just say he is exhausted, cranky, and pissed. Currently in that of the common room of the Black Bull's hideout, still with that of red eyes and everything, still feeling with that of the combination. Then soon, Noelle saying, "Are you still working on that? Don't you just want to just drop it or open it at force?" But then, snapping to her, almost like that of him snapping his neck so fast that it looked like he got whiplash, basically terrifying Noelle, as her eyes whining in that of fear and other fear. But then, saying, I don't want to basically break what's in this thing. If I open up with force, who knows what's inside, and I lose out on what I gain. So to be honest, I'm trying to figure this out. Still feeling with that of the combination lock, as Finral, Magna, Luck, and also Vanessa checking out what's going, seeing how much Asta is still fiddling with this. With Finral saying he seriously has been up all for almost an entire day figuring this out. With then Magna saying, "Tell me about it, dude. I mean, normally he already be sleeping like 5 times today and yesterday, but yet." With soon Vanessa saying, honestly, I think it's because of him sleeping that he's so good looking, to be honest. Without him sleeping, he does not look as good as he before. With then soon Charmy basically going over to Asta, offering him tons of food, with then saying, "Go on, come on, why don't you try and eat up, handsome? I mean, looking as good as you need to." With then saying, "Thank you, Charmy, for the food, but I am good right now until I figure this out. This is really starting to bug me." As Asta basically shoves off that of Charmy, which even caused her to be completely and utterly shocked, as she didn't think that nobody or anybody would basically deny her cooking. As Charmy basically slumping down on the ground, saying, he rejected me. As Charmy slumping on the ground, with almost looking like tears about to come out of her eyes and everything. With then soon, Asta couldn't help but get annoyed. Everybody's basically complaining or basically ignoring him. If they wanted to make this end sooner, then they would help him figure out this damn combination. And then he could get some damn sleep. As it doesn't help that Libe's also been screwing me over too. As for Libe, he's been basically teasing and bugging Asta constantly over and over and over again to try to get some sleep, or to basically just drop it or just break it entirely just to open it. And that didn't help either. But then, starting to get fully frustrated, before then, putting in the last combination of locks, before soon it finally fully opens. But then realizing, thank God. As everybody heard the clicking sound too, before then, opening up the latches, with soon everybody coming over, even that of Gordon, and surprisingly, even that of Ghost too, Gray as well. Within seeing that of the thing that's inside of the case, with everybody completely, utterly shocked and awe seeing it. Even Asta too, as inside of the case lies that of a massive blade, and not just one massive blade, but several other blades, from that of short sword daggers to that of regular size swords to even that of short swords as well. Almost looking like pieces to a puzzle, actually. Within Noelle saying, "Wow, look at this. Such craftsmanship for just a single sword?" Within Magna saying, "So cool." Within Luck saying, "Yeah, I've never seen a blade like this." Within, even Vanessa can help but comment saying, "Wow, to think that this is what's inside of the entire case that you say." With then Finral saying, "Holy crap, just by looking at this, just looking at these weapons, they seem like in well mint condition, and yet they're in the dungeon this entire time? Man, what the heck, whoever made this really loves his swords." With then pulling out that of the massive blade, before then seeing it as it almost looks like that of a regular sword, before seeing that of a latch or a button, as it soon extends out, opening up as it's basically just a typical double-edged sword, as it almost looks like that of slots, for those who go into it. Within, looking at that of the slots, and then looking at that of the blades. Before then, grabbing one of the swords that looked like that of a single-edged sword, but with no guard, but almost like the blade is also part around that of the edge of the hilt. Within, placing it in, before soon it slides right into that of the edge of the sword, making it that of a double-edged sword. Within, realizing, nice. Within, soon, Noelle saying, wait, those swords fit into that sword? With soon Magnus saying, "That is so hardcore. I bet it just makes that of one bigger and more badasser sword." With then Noctis begins placing more and more of the swords, within even seeing that some of the swords need to be shifted into that of certain pieces to be fit into that of the double-edged blade. With as he begins figuring out each and every piece, before then finally finishing it, as it looks like that of a giant double single edge buster sword. With then everybody can help but be completely and utterly shocked. Even that of, well, Asta as well, looking at this blade saying, whoever made this sword really thought about trying to focus more on versatility and has to be ambidextrous as well. With then everybody looking at that of Asta saying, be skilled with both hands instead of just mainly having one dominant hand. Within, everybody can help but say, oh, but soon, Asta saying, but even so, this is amazing. Before then, trying to merge it with that of his soul. However, it seems like the power of the kings won't accept it. But then realizing, wait, what? Why can't I? But soon, Libe saying, try and put those swords into my grimoire. But then saying, wait, what? Should put the swords in my grimoire. Turn them into anti-magic blades. Saying, you're serious? Saying, yes. Why would I? Look, it gives you access to more and more swords, and it seems like whatever your magic isn't allowing them into you. So just put them in the grimoire, make things easier. Turn them to anti-magic swords, and you get a bigger arsenal. Better that than nothing. But then, Asta's hearing this before sighing, as everybody looking at that of Asta. Before then, placing the sword back down on the table, removing each and every one of the blades, putting it on the table before bringing out that of his grimoire. Within soon, Vanessa saying, what are you doing, Asta? Saying, just give me a minute. Within, with each and every one of the swords, he puts inside of that of his 5-leaf clover grimoire, with everybody completely and utterly shocked. With even soon, placing that of the double-edged blade too, into that of the blackened grimoire. With then closing up that of the book before placing it back on his back. But then saying, there, well, at least I got a new toy and a new weapon to help me out in combat for my next mission. With then soon, Luck saying, so, I didn't think that your grimoire could do stuff like that. I thought it just basically nullifies magic. Within, I was saying, thought about it just a little while ago. If I can pull anti-magic swords out of it, what if it happens if I just put stuff inside of it, put swords inside of it as well? Within, Fern was saying, that's so damn useful, I will say, but why not just use your other form of magic that lets you just, pop weapons in and out of reality and let you teleport to them? Within, I was saying, I would love to, but for some reason the sword wouldn't let me. It almost felt like it had a mind of its own for the time being. Within, hearing that, Noelle saying, okay, now you're just being crazy. With it saying, I wish. Before then, having that of Nero on top of his head saying, oh, hey Nero. As then, she just basically sitting on that of Asta's head. With it thinking, but even so, now with that taken care of, is then getting out of the table, with then heading up saying, I'm going to bed. And don't wake my ass up unless it's in something important. But then soon, as Asta basically groggily heads upstairs, with everybody looking back at him, as everybody kind of glad that he's going back to sleep, but also somewhat annoyed. Before then, Gordon, like always, whispers before saying, have a good night, Asta. After that, Asta basically slept for almost for an entire day the next day, before waking up the day after that, as he couldn't help but yawn to himself saying, that was a good-ass nap. With it, as he heads downstairs, with everybody seeing him, as then saying, morning, everybody. With then, soon, Noelle saying, you slept all day yesterday. But then, Asta basically had his eyes open as he stops in place, within realizing I slept all day yesterday. Then Gray couldn't help but puff out that of smoke, almost like she was worried or something like that. Within, Vanessa saying, we honestly, Gray's right. We were kind of worried that you may have, worked yourself to the bone. You normally sleep for at least a good few minutes and then wake up later afterwards. With then soon, Ghost saying, unlike the last time when I tried waking you up, you nearly took my head off. I wasn't going to be doing that again. However, within, Magnus saying, every time when we tried waking you up, you basically just shoved us off afterwards. Not even bothering attacking us or getting groggy. Shows that you really were exhausted. After hearing the words from that of his comrades and teammates, he kept saying, wow, sorry about that, guys. Sorry if I worried you. Honestly, within, going to that of the table with the others and sitting down saying, I've always had sleep problems ever since I was a kid. Can't really explain it, but it's just something I'm so used to. Within, Charmy basically placing tons of food in front of Asta, saying, go on, eat up, and you're going to need all the strength you can get from sleeping so much, saying, thanks, Charmy, you're the best. As Asta begins eating, within, Charmy couldn't help but swoon over that of Asta, thanking her, thinking that she's back into that of his good graces, which she never was out of his good graces, or not that deeply. Within, soon, noticing that Asta's back, saying, oh, hey, you're up, kid. Sorry I didn't wake you up so soon. And honestly, given that you were up so much, I guess it only makes sense. But then, Asta saying, hey, Captain Yami. So, what's up? What's the business? Well, then saying, well, technically, you and Noelle had to get going. Within, Asta and Noelle basically confused, saying, what? Within, Yami saying, you got a report about that at the dungeon. I gave you at least those 2 days off just to relax. And since your ass is up now, that means you can now go and give your report about what happened at the dungeon. But then, Asta saying, wait, then why didn't you do it, Noelle? Within, saying, I didn't think I had to. And plus, I thought that Luck would. Within, as she soon says that, within looking at that of Luck himself, still smiling dopey as always, without a care in the world, saying, okay, yep, definitely stupid decision on my part. With that, Yami can up and say, even so, gotta take care of this. Eat what you can and relax while you can, and head to that of the Clover Kingdom, then head to that of the HQ as well. And I'm guessing Massface would also be sending that other subordinates that were also taking care of that, incident with the dungeon too. So at least you'll be able to put notes together and put everything else together too. But then us saying, oh, probably be there, knowing him. With then soon, Asta finished eating a little bit, saying, thanks for the meal, Charmy, appreciate it. With, basically stretching his arms, saying, all right, Noelle, let's head out. Within, she's saying, wait, now? Within, Asta looking back at her saying, yes, now. And since I didn't have time to basically train you today, call this basically extra workout. Within, Noelle can help but say, seriously, he is such a pain. With then, Vanessa saying, good luck, girl. You're definitely going to need it. But then looking at Finral saying, hey, Finral, could you? Saying, oh, right, yeah, I got you. As then opening up that of a portal, with it saying, wait, did you really expect me to basically us walk all the way to the Clover Kingdom when we have our literal walking transportation here? With Finral freaking out saying, hey! As then, Noelle couldn't help but get annoyed. However, it made her look somewhat adorable when she started pouting. Soon, a few minutes later, they arrive in that of the capital of the Clover Kingdom. With then, as this was basically where to make up for that of the lack of, training for the past couple of days, to basically walk there instead of, just arriving in out of the Noble Realms, Noble District entirely. Within, Noelle basically huffing and puffing the entire time, with Asta saying, seriously, you really have no stamina. Within, Noelle saying, can you blame me? Again, most mages don't move around on the battlefield, or if they do, they normally just use flying magic. Within, I was saying, and that's your downside. Seriously, you're not gonna all. You have to basically do some movement and basically keep your distance as well. You can't just be in a stationary target all the damn time. And it's that very reason on why I was able to defeat that of Mars back in the dungeon, because of my training and being able to move around properly. Within, hearing all this, Noelle saying, I guess you're right. But you also forget that I'm still not that good at using my magic offensively yet. And I don't even know how to use water magic for mobility either. Within, I was saying, that's why I still want you to continue focusing more on defense, not offense. Within, Noelle hearing that, and Asta still continues saying, you let your guard down too easily during that of Mars. And again, I know that's my fault because I made a promise. But even so, I would expect you to still keep your guard up. You need better battle sense. It was the reason why Luck and Klaus and I were able to get out of the attack, and why Mimosa and you were still able to get hit. Even though Mimosa was able to, react quick enough, given that she was sneak attacked the last time, you on the other hand did not. Within, Noelle basically looking down and saddened, being basically ridiculed by the one person that she admires the most right now. Within saying, however, no, I shouldn't judge you for that. To be honest, I blame your family. Within, soon, Noelle saying, what? Within, without Asta basically giving any context, mainly because arriving in front, as they get closer and closer to that of the Magic Knight HQ, they soon notice 3 familiar figures saying, Klaus, Mimosa. Within, noticing that of the 3 figures as well. Within, hearing their names, they soon turn around. Within, Klaus saying, Asta. Within, saying, hey there, Asta, you're doing good. As Asta walks up to them saying, it seems like you guys are a lot more fully recovered now. That's good to see. Within, soon, Mimosa, noticing Asta as her cheeks begin to get reddened and blush. Within, noticing Mimosa saying, hey Mimosa, you're looking a lot more better now. Guessing your healing magic really does improve quite a bit. Within, soon, Mimosa basically freaking out a little bit as she basically runs off for a little while, keeping her distance from that of Asta. Within, soon, Asta saying, what was that? She looks pretty. She had a red tint on her cheeks. Within, saying maybe she wanted to keep your distance from you. After all, given all the times that you constantly sleep randomly all around the day, that could be contagious. Within, Asta getting annoyed, saying, "Oh, piss off! At least I got resting bitch face syndrome." Within, Sue, couldn't help but have that of a twitching eye, as the 2 brothers still basically glaring at each other. Within, soon, Klaus kind of confused on what the hell is going on between these 2. Within, Noelle basically going over to Mimosa saying, hey, what was with you? You never act like that with anybody around you. Within, Mimosa saying, it's just that ever since what happened with the dungeon, when I think of Asta, I can't get him out of my mind. Within, soon hearing that saying, wait, she can't be. With Noelle basically going through her inner thoughts saying, you're joking, right? You're thinking about him constantly, like all the time. Your face gets red. Within saying, yeah, that's true. Within soon, Noelle saying, no, she isn't. As Noelle looked back and forth between that of Mimosa, and Asta. Within saying, don't tell me that he is a pretty cool person, and the way he was fighting and how strong he is and the way that he acts, it's almost like that of one of those heroes from old stories that my mom and even my big brother before he became, told me when I was a kid. He was just so cool. Within, soon, Noelle saying, but even so, he's basically a sleep-depriving, a arrogant, a somewhat obnoxious, and a workaholic dumbass. There's no way that you could like him. He's not worth it. with Mimosa basically couldn't help but giggle, saying, well, honestly, I kind of like his blunt nature, to be fair. He's always he's nice about it, and the way that he acts, he doesn't seem like he lets other people's words get the better of him. It's kind of cool, to be honest. But then she blushing once again, saying, "Aw, I wish I only knew a lot more." But then soon, Noelle saying, Why is she acting like this? And then Noelle began getting flustered herself, thinking about that of Asta, saying, and why am I getting jealous over it? I don't like that dork stuff. With then, soon, she can't, as every time when she tries to deny it, it just gets even stronger, forcing the two to basically having that red faces. With then, us saying, I'm pretty sure they're not doing so well. With then, saying, definitely. With Klaus saying, maybe after we've done a report, we should probably get them to somewhere safe, somewhere nice so they can calm down. With then, soon us saying, right, you guys are giving out your report too. So, how did that go with your superiors? Within, Sue, Klaus saying, what do you mean? As they continue walking, within, Asta commenting saying, I know how the nobles are, and since the Golden Dawn is mainly composed of nothing but 40% of the nobility of the Clover Kingdom, I figured some of your comrades were a little hesitant, or a little annoyed, or possibly hesitating that you guys work with that of the Black Bulls. With then, hearing that, both Mimosa, and Klaus can help but seem a little bit uneasy and nervous. With then, soon, Klaus couldn't help but sigh, saying, unfortunately, some of our, members were a little bit vocal about our actions during that of the dungeon incident. Some believe that we could have handled it ourselves without any help. Some even believe that my leadership and my poor leadership skills is what led to us being helped by you and Noelle, and also Luck as well. I even told some of the people about what happened with your decision and choice with keeping that of Mars and that of the Diamond Kingdom mages alive, or not capturing them. Some even believe that your actions would go against and basically are seen as traitorous to the Clover Kingdom. Within hearing all that, Asta staying quiet, listening to that of his spectacle-wearing comrade and friend. Within, soon Klaus saying, even so, I disagree with all their words. Within, Asta saying, oh yeah? Within, Klaus continues saying, seeing you during the dungeon, especially when you fought against that man known as Mars, it showed that your true heart, your determination, your battle prowess, and your kind heart. Not only that, you're a man of your word. You don't break it no matter what. Within, Asta couldn't help but smirk, saying, some people would say it's weakness to have that much kindness and also trust for your enemy. For me, it just shows that we're more human than anything. Some people always say it's easy to demonize your enemies than your allies. Within hearing all that, saying, you always are over dramatic. You know that, Asta, saying, hey, I'm just giving my own opinion. That's so wrong. Within, saying, no, not really. But try and think this from other people's point of view. If you show too much leniency to your enemies, some allies may see you as that of a traitor, or see you as that of a liability in combat. It's bad enough a lot of people think that those in the Black Bulls aren't worth anything. Within, us saying, and what do you think, Within, soon, staying quiet, before smirking, saying, they're idiots because they don't know a damn thing about you. Within, soon, us saying, that's the words I wanted to hear. As the two basically still walking step by step. Within, Klaus couldn't help but smirk himself, saying, I thought for sure he would feel a lot more discourteous about that, especially hearing it from that of the Golden Dawn, but yet, seems he's not too fazed by it. That's good to see. Within, soon, as they finally arrive in that at the HQ, before then noticing somebody saying, "Ah, so you've all arrived. Good." Within hearing that voice, as soon they notice that of a man wearing that of noble or somewhat royal attire, with that of a fur coat, multiple medals on him, and also having that of short blonde hair, and looking close to that of his, well, late 30s and early 40s. Within, soon, Asta saying, who's this guy? Within, saying, not sure. Within, soon, Klaus couldn't help but say, you fools, bow your head. Do you not know who you're speaking to? Within, both orphan twin brothers couldn't help but look back, seeing that even that Noelle and Mimosa are also kneeling down. Within, Klaus saying, that is Julius Nova Kronos, head of the Kronos family and the current Wizard King. Within, hearing that, both Asta and Yuno's eyes widening, shocked, saying, the Wizard King? Within, Yuno bows his head. Before then, Asta also basically going down to one knee as well. Within, saying, please, raise your head. Currently, right now, I'm just out of your superior getting that of the reports from the dungeon raid. Normally, I would allow that of my, assistant to gain this, but I'm currently in a hurry. So I decided to do two things in one go. Soon, Klaus saying, I see. Well then, within, Asta saying, allow us to explain what happened during the dungeon raid, Your Majesty. Within, soon, Julius saying, none of that, Your Majesty. The Wizard King is nothing but just a mere title, not an actual position of royalty. After all, the Clover Kingdom King is still have that title. Within, Asta saying, wait, we actually do have an actual king? Even Yuno was kind of confused about this too, as he didn't know about that the Clover Kingdom actually had a monarchy. Within, both that of Mimosa and even that of Noelle couldn't help but be completely and utterly caught off guard, especially given that the two of them are actually royalty. Within several minutes later, they all began to list out what happened during that of the dungeon raid. Within, Julius can help but speak up, saying, I see. So that's what happened. Within, soon, Asta spoke up, saying, it was a crime to basically fraternize with that of the enemy. I'll take any punishment, Sir Julius. Whatever it is, I'll accept it full-heartedly. Within, soon, saying, Asta. Within, Noelle saying, you idiot. Within, Noelle saying, Asta, you can't. Before then, Klaus saying, do you know what you're asking? That would be... Within, Julius raising his hand saying, Asta, right? Please, raise your head. What you've done is basically no different from what any rational or more reasonable Magic Knight would do. People like you don't come very often, actually. It's always fight, 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 to be honest. Having at least somebody basically be able to have that of active diplomacy is better than nothing in this day and age. But then, Asta couldn't help but say, thank you, sir. But then, Julius saying, now then, as for that of what happened, it seemed we may not have gotten a lot of the gold, and you're basically right. Our financial situation here in the Clover Kingdom is not as bad as it is in the Diamond Kingdom. In a way, we could use this to our leverage for that of negotiation for peace between our two kingdoms. Call it a favor for a favor, in a way. Within, Asta can up and say, I thought that might work. Hopefully, it will. Within, Julius saying, good. As for what you both picked up in that of the dungeon, within, soon, Julius having that of sparkles in his eyes, almost looking like that of a little kid at a candy shop, looking at both Asta and Yuno, making the two feel a little bit uncomfortable. Before then, saying, Can I see both your magics and abilities? I would love to know, especially you, Yuno. I hear that you gained the page from that of the dungeon, and it's now part of your grimoire. Please show me. Within, soon, Yuno, a little bit, caught off guard, is even his stoic face basically just removed for a bit. as his eyebrows basically shot up, before then saying, of course, sir, here. Within soon, bringing out that of his four-leaf clover grimoire, opening it up, and then seeing that of the new page added into the grimoire. Within soon noticing it as Julius begins to read it, saying, I see. This is the page for that of the self bonding ritual, which means she's chosen him to be that of her pack familiar. That's great. Hopefully she'll allow that of Yuno to grow even stronger. And I know he will. But then soon, Julius, curiosity satisfied, saying, thank you, Yuno. I believe the spell, as I could tell, the spell is ancient, and it's tied to that of wind magic. And I hear that you're a specialist in that of using wind magic as well. So in a way, you'll grow even more stronger than you were before. But then, soon hearing this, Yuno couldn't help but smile and bow his head, saying, thank you for your words, sir. But then, soon, his eyes go back to that of the sparkling, looking back at Asta, making Asta feel a little bit uncomfortable as his face begins to sweat a lot, before then saying, I hear that you have quite the unique form of magic too, especially the anti-sword magic. Could you show me the swords that you have? Or what then? Soon, Asta saying, sir, I figured you might want to ask, but we did gain something else from the dungeon alongside inside of that case, remember? Saying, oh, right. And you even said that you were able to put that what was inside the case inside your grimoire. Could you show me? Saying, of course. As then, Asta opening up his grimoire, as inside of the Five-Leaf Clover grimoire, as that of a black portal opens up around that of the pages, what soon brings out that of the sword he gained. Within soon, Asta saying, I decided to dub this the Fusion Blade. Within soon, Julius couldn't help but have his eyes widening in shock, and that of gloriousness saying, what? Beautiful. Within, Noelle's completely and utterly shocked seeing that of the blade, now dubbed the Fusion Blade, as then saying, what the? Asta, what happened to the sword? Within, soon, Asta saying, oh, right, you noticed. Within, soon looking at that of the sword, as it originally had that of a somewhat silverish, gray gleam to it, but now it seems pure black now, almost like that of the other swords that are inside of Asta's Five-Leaf Clover grimoire. Within saying, it wasn't its original color? Nope. As then, Asta putting that of the guard on that of his shoulders, making sure not to hit Klaus or any of the girls behind him, or even that of Yuno. Within saying, originally, it had that of a silverish, grayish gleam to it. But after putting it inside of my grimoire, it seems it started to take on that of this corrupted black. Within soon, mentally speaking with that of Libe, then saying, that's the beauty of my anti-magic grimoire, Asta. And like I told you, any weapon you put into this will gain that of the power of the anti-magic. Not only that, whatever properties that the sword originally had will also basically be part of it too. So that means those extra blades will be anti-magic as well. So I should call it the anti-magic fusion sword. Or better yet, hey, where are the names for these swords actually, Libe? You never really fully told me outside of what they're capable of. Saying, huh? Oh, right. But then, soon, Libe gives him a quick rundown of that of the swords, mainly that of the Demon Slayer sword, the Demon Dweller sword, and the Demon Destroyer sword. Adding that of the fusion sword, Asta decided to call it, saying, the Demon's Fusion Sword. Catchy name to it. With then, soon, Julius saying, still, I would like to see if I could touch it, saying, you sure? This thing is pretty heavy. The only reason I'm able to swing it around pretty easily is due to my other form of magic that allows me to be able to create and basically bring out any type of weapon out, after all. Saying, oh, I would also love to see that. I hear about that of the weapons that you're able to manipulate and use as that of melee weapons. Not a lot of wizards actually use that of weapons in combat. So what I would love to know what you're truly capable of using those swords. We'll see what your other weapons are capable of. But then, Asta begins thinking, saying, if you say so, and if it's an order. But then, soon putting that as stabbing that of the fusion sword into the ground. Before then, putting that of the grimoire floating beside him aside, before materializing one of his royal arms, as it being that of the Sword of the Wise, with then seeing that of the short sword blade, but then saying, truly beautiful. Seeing that of the black bluish blade, with then, as he couldn't help but say, may I? Saying, sure, but just to be careful. The sword is somewhat, sentient, I will say, given that it's possessed with that of the soul of his ancestor, which kind of makes sense. With then soon grabbing that of the blade, saying, "Whoa! Even though it's a pretty small sword, it's pretty heavy. It seems pretty heavy." Saying, "Yeah, like I said, it's somewhat magic after all." So, saying, "I see." But then soon Julius noticing, saying, "There's a will within it. I can feel it. It's trying to reject me." Interesting. Think that a young man like this, a commoner no less, would have this much power. And not just that, I can even feel the anti-magic basically radiating off that blade. I can tell just by even touching it, would feel my own magic draining away just for an instant. This would be, honestly, William, Yami, you two truly found diamonds in the rough. It makes me jealous, after all, not being a captain like I used to be back in the day. Before then, handing that of the blade back to Asta, as he dematerializes the Sword of the Wise and brings back the Demon Fusion Sword back into that of his Filey Clover grimoire. Then soon, Julius saying, "Well then, my curiosity about your magics has now been fully satisfied. Thank you, young man." But then, Klaus couldn't help but say, so the rumors about that of Wizard King Julius were true. That he's a huge magic nerd after all. Well, I guess that's one rumor out of the way. With then, soon, Julius saying, "Now then, I should probably head off. Would you all care to accompany me?" With then, soon, Noelle saying, "Are you sure that's all right?" With them almost saying, "We're not intruding, are we?" Saying, "Don't worry, it's nothing wrong with that. After all, consider you all my guest." But then, soon, couldn't help but speak up saying, "Sir, if it's not too much to ask, can I ask you a question?" But then, soon, Julius saying, "Sure, go ahead, But then, Asta couldn't help but raise an eyebrow saying, "Figures, he's definitely going to ask if he can." But then, saying, "How can I become Wizard King?" With then, hearing that, all of them could but be shocked outside of Asta. Even that of Julius was actually quite intrigued by the question too. With then Klaus saying, "What do you think it would say such a thing to him? And honestly, it's not that easy to become Wizard King. After all, you need that of the talent, the diligence, and the true qualifications to be." Within Sue, Julius saying, "Honestly, it's kind of none of that." Klaus. Within, Klaus completely caught off guard saying, what do you mean?" Within, Julius having that of the less goofiness and the less of the, calm and casual tone to him, and now being more strict and stern, and showing that of the years of wisdom and experience behind his eyes now. Within, saying, "It's because you need to become Wizard King, you need results." Within, both and Asta completely shocked, saying, "Results?" But then, soon, Julius explaining, saying, "Like I said before, the Wizard King is not a royal title. It's a militaristic title given to those who are the best of the Magic Knights, gaining all control and autonomy over that of the Magic Knight squads, even over captains as well. Not to mention, you need results. Results that basically those around you can trust you with anything that comes to mind, no matter what it needs to be done. That's what it truly means to be Wizard King." With then hearing this, clenching his fist before then saying, I understand. Thank you, sir. With then, even Asta couldn't help but think, so that's what it means to be Wizard King. To gain results, to become something that people can trust with anything that comes to mind. In simpler terms, you need to be somebody that people can rely on at any time when it comes to the worst or the best of times. Somebody that you think will always have your back when shit hits the fan. Almost like that of a true king. With then, Asta begins to think back when he was Noctis. As he remembers back then, back when he was on the run, back when he was considered the fugitive prince, back when he only had that of Procto, Gladio, and even Ignis, and even sure there was even Cole and Luna, and even that of Gladio's little sister, even old man Sid too, and Sydney had his back. But when it came to those of the overriding public, even those who are my subjects, I could tell barely any of them really trusted me. Only when I showed that of results during my job with the guild and helped them out with anything around them, that they began to trust me, that they began to rally around me like the king I was meant to be. And even when its final moments in my life, they didn't know the truth that their king had to die to keep them all safe. I wonder how they all feel about my death. Do they feel anything? Or did I even matter to them to begin with? I would want to know myself if I could. With then, after coming to this realization, could tell the look on that of Asta's face as he couldn't help but bump him. Before having that of a look of worry, even though his eyes, even though he still has a deadpan look, his eyes say it all. But then soon, Asta couldn't help but laugh it off a little bit, saying, don't worry, I'm good. Don't gotta worry. But then soon, still not really convinced, but decided to let it be for now. With then soon, Julius saying, now, come now. We're actually here because today is that the day of a distinguished ceremony. But then soon, hearing that, Klaus saying, a distinguished ceremony? You don't mean saying, yes, your fellow Magic Knights will be ranking up in their self-respected squads. Within hearing that, Asta saying, so whoever's going to be ranking up are considered to be the most talented and possibly the best of the best of each of the Magic Knight squads. Within soon blinking multiple times saying, now that I think about it, has a single Black Bull member basically ranked up by any chance? Sir, within soon hearing that, Julius couldn't help but to scratch his chin before then saying, technically, only 3 of the Black Bull members have ever ranked up, actually. And one of them was actually that of the vice captain. Within hearing all that, Asta couldn't help but say, you've got to be kidding me. Within hearing the name vice captain saying, wait, Captain Yami has a vice captain? I never even met him before. Who the hell is our vice captain? With even Noelle basically hearing this saying, my God, I'm starting to regret even joining the Black Bulls too. Within, they soon arrive into that of the distinguished ranking ceremony, with seeing that of several Magic Knights who are making a name for themselves in the Clover Kingdom. And not only that, Noelle and Asta would meet that of certain people who would impact their lives in the future. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this part? If you guys remember, all the way back of last year, I basically made a poll on what weapon from that of the dungeon I should give that of Asta. After all, there was one being his engine blade, one being that of the gun blade from Squall, and the other being that of Titus's Brotherhood sword. But not surprisingly, everyone basically chose that of, the Cloud's fusion sword. So yeah. And maybe some of you guys probably wonder, wait, why not just give him that of the, Buster Sword as much as I would want to, but to be honest, the Fusion Sword has a lot more, useful, especially given that of Noctis / Asta's Armature mode. Just imagine using the Fusion Blade when in that of Armature. Just think how badass that is, and especially coated in that of anti-magic now. So yeah, at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to get to date my videos on both the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki, signing out. Later, guys. Hope you all take care. Shiro Kitsune, you know what to do, my lady.
Hi, everyone. This is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!